with some people I know the CPA networks, it's one of those things, especially with all the new terminology and things like that. Some people think, that's probably not where they want to start. And I know, especially the way that you sort of pitch the WordPress Direct and through the 30-day challenge, it's really about taking a product, be it your own or the affiliate product, and then sort of building a blog around that, building some traffic to it, and trying to sell the offer from those blogs. Perhaps that might even be a good example. Do you follow the 30-day challenge process for promoting a blog, or how do you go through, let's say, promoting a feeder site or a WordPress Direct type site to help sort of push some other offers that you've got?
Yeah, I absolutely follow that process. The main difference, though, between 30-day challenge process and what I might do in everyday business for promoting an offer is 30-day challenge is very specific around testing a low competition market so that you're not paying for the traffic. So it is an excellent teaching model. It is definitely one that you use in low competition spaces. So that's why I stress lateral thinking. I'm trying to find phrases where, given a reasonable amount of time and backlinks and other things that I can do promoting organically, that I'll get some good traffic out of it. So obviously, in that situation, keyword research is the key. But as you said, the paid strategy for finding things that convert the offer also help you build out what keywords you should put sites around. And so, I start with the 30-day challenge strategy in that I like to build something that's human readable, starting with an article that's unique, and let it bake for a couple weeks so that it gets indexed, and then turn on content posting to the site on the keywords for the site so that it continues to accumulate content over time. And then really so let's say the first recipe is to get the site built, get the unique content out there. I'll typically take WordPress Direct and I'll use the Post Now feature of, say, something like the YouTube to WordPress poster and the Answers poster, and I'll just put a couple pieces of content on each keyword out on the site, and then I'll just let it sit there for a little bit so that it'll get, that's not exactly true. I will do a minimal amount of promotion so that there's a link going to it so it'll get indexed. But generally, if I use a WordPress Direct blog just with the ping list inside WordPress Direct sites, it'll get indexed very quickly. So there's not a whole lot of promotion you have to do once you've initially built the blog just to get it indexed. Once it's been indexed and it's sort of, how would you say, sat on the shelf for, say, a week or two, then I would come back and I would start posting content periodically to it using the software inside WordPress Direct so that we build up more pages in the site. The site has more related keywords on it, and I'm building up more pages that are indexed over time because of the fact that all the pages on the blog are linked together. After that, mainly the strategy is, how am I going to get backlinks? Is it going to be article marketing? Is it going to be a service? Am I going to, promote to directories? There's all sorts of different backlinking strategies that you would employ. The two that I like are article marketing and then, in certain cases, internal tools we have for getting links from our own set of blogs that we have in-house.
Yeah. And a lot of those, are they sort of WordPress Direct type blogs? Like you've got a set all based around the same theme, or how are you doing that sort of linking?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you want to basically build up a number of blogs that are all on related keywords within a certain market. And then, of course, those are going to be your least cost way of getting backlinks to whatever the page it is you're trying to get to rank.
I think that process that you went through there, that was really quite clear as far as, finding out what your keywords were, using through pay-per-click, making a couple of posts so it gets indexed, doing a real small amount of promotion, and then building up regular posts. Obviously, the internal linking structure is going to help with that, and then doing your off-page article marketing, and then also leveraging off your own network. When we talk about sort of leveraging off your own network and setting up these blogs, it does take a little bit of work to try and get a blog set up. And I know because you've got 50 million things going on, is this something that you sort of put down into a systemized process and you've got outsources, or what's the process? How do you actually take this from, okay, we've got a plan, to actual implementation?
It's tough. It's our business has evolved to the point where we were using these tools ourselves for our own sites to the point where we're now supporting lots of other people using these tools. So it's almost like we do it when we can get to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do employ outsourcers, and it's mainly a question of we try and do a certain amount of care and feeding, every quarter, so that the idea is that we build up an asset over time, and we want to make sure that we don't sort of mess that asset up and have sites get delisted and or lose page rank because we weren't paying attention. So we just try and keep up with it, because our current business, WordPress Direct as a software service is a huge part of our business.
Yeah.
And then, other things that we do are also a huge part of our business. So the affiliate marketing side it's become the stepchild right now. But one of my focuses for this coming year is to not have it be the stepchild anymore and focus a lot more on it. So what we're really looking at doing is adding more outsourcers and going after different sources of traffic that aren't the typical pay-per-click or just organic SEO. So we're trying to get into a lot more banner traffic, a lot more content network traffic, a lot of other sources that we haven't used in the past, mainly because we just haven't had the attention span to devote to it. And so that's part of what I'm looking to do in the first half of the upcoming year.
Very cool. And I think once you know what it is that you've got to offer and you know those metrics, and you talked about the importance of that when you're talking about especially the CPA stuff, that's really the perfect time for stepping into buying significant amount of traffic, because Google isn't the end-all and be-all, and the search engines definitely aren't. And when you want to take it to that next level, people who are just sort of still going through the process of trying to get that free traffic and going through that process almost that you talked about there, once they sort of, they've done a little bit of those linking things, the stages for getting those off-site linkings back to the site. You mentioned article marketing and the internal network. If you had to pick one, and I know it's important obviously to get a diverse range of inbound links, but if you had to pick just one method, because I always like to see what people think is the best bang for the buck on getting links, which would you say?
Well, I think the best bang for the buck right now is still article marketing, and it's just simply a matter of keeping at it, because it's one of these things where you just have to keep on it. There's lots of great services out there that will spin an article, put it out there, and get you 9, 10 backlinks a day, publishing, syndicating an article out to either to directories or to, say, a private network of sites. So that's certainly the best value for the money. One of the things, though, and that is, once you have a mature site, mature I mean by maybe a month old, that's a good strategy. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they'll put up a site, they'll put a gob of keywords on it, and they will turn on sort of automatic content posting from day one, and that is the biggest mistake. You want to let Google discover the site, see it, register the fact that it's there, and not see way too much activity right away once it indexes a site. If it sees all kinds of crazy activity, it's going to realize that's not natural. There's something weird going on, and you're going to get put in the sandbox. So you definitely want to, that first 30 days of establishing a site is absolutely critical for making sure that site is going to remain indexed and be valuable as an asset to you. Once you get past that first 30 days, then you can start using all sorts of strategies, whether it be the content posting or article marketing or other backlink getting strategies to really start building the traffic worthiness and authority getting of that site. Did that make sense?